If you feel worthless, it's probably not because you are. It's because you learn to measure your value through other people. When they approve of you, you feel okay. When they don't, everything inside you collapses, and without realizing it, you hand your self-worth to people who don't even understand you. That's a dangerous trade, because your inner peace ends up depending on someone else's mood. In this video, I'll show you why that slowly destroys your inner balance, and how to take your value back. We all share two fundamental psychological needs: to feel valuable and to feel hopeful, because when your value feels stable, hope becomes easier to carry. One reminder before we begin: I feel worthless is a feeling, not a fact. Feelings can be loud and convincing, but they aren't always accurate. So we're not here to prove your worth to the world. We're here to stop outsourcing it. People who feel worthless often make the same mistake. They use external approval as their reference point for self-worth. They feel valuable when they're noticed. And the moment that attention disappears, their sense of value collapses. If your worth depends on how people treat you, your emotional balance will always be unstable. Okay, one day, broken the next. Here's what that looks like in real life. You post something and refresh the page. A few likes show up and you feel relief. Then the numbers slow down and your chest tightens. Or you send a message and they read it, but don't reply. And your mind instantly says, I said something wrong. I'm not important. Nothing about your value changed in those minutes. Only the feedback changed. But your body reacts as if your worth is being decided in real time, and that's why it's exhausting. Other people are not reliable mirrors. Everyone sees the world through their own lens. Some lenses are clear. Some are distorted by fear, insecurity, jealousy, or pain. Not everyone has the ability to recognize your value, and that says more about them than it does about you. Sometimes you're not too much. You're just in the wrong environment. Nothing in nature exists without a function, and neither do you. If you can't see your value yet, it doesn't mean it isn't there. It means you haven't learned how to recognize it. Here's a picture that makes this obvious. Imagine you're holding something valuable, gold or an emerald. If you take it to a jeweler, they recognize it immediately. If you take it to someone who doesn't understand it, they'll treat it like scrap. The value didn't change, the observer did. So the first real shift is this: stop using other people as your reference point. Here's a simple exercise, not to impress anyone, not to prove anything, just to reconnect with yourself. Take a page and write 3 short lists. List 1, things I do even when it's hard. Effort, discipline, resilience. List 2, how I treat people when nobody is watching. Character, integrity. List 3, values I try to live by. Kindness, honesty, growth, courage. If your mind says I have nothing, start smaller. I keep going. I'm trying. I don't give up easily. Then for the next week, keep a tiny evidence log. Every night write 1 sentence. One thing I did today that matches who I want to be. Small proof, repeated over time, creates an internal reference point. This isn't about convincing others, it's about remembering that your value exists, even without approval. People judge what they don't understand. They don't know what you've survived. They don't know what you've carried. They don't know what it took for you to still be here. You do. And that alone deserves recognition. If others won't give it to you, will you give it to yourself? People who feel worthless often confuse feelings with reality. You can feel inadequate. You can feel unattractive. You can feel unsuccessful, even when none of these are objectively true. I've seen this up close. I've met people who are objectively successful and still feel like failures. I've met people who are objectively attractive and still feel not enough. Nothing about them changed day to day. Only the story in their mind changed. That's why a feeling can feel real without being true. Here's a tool you can use in the moment. Name the story. When the thought shows up, I'm not enough, say I'm noticing the not enough story. When it says everyone thinks I'm worthless, say I'm noticing the mind-reading story. When it says this will always be like this, say I'm noticing the forever story. This isn't denial, it's distance. It gives you space to choose your next move. And if you need a quick reset, slow your exhale, relax your jaw, drop your shoulders, remind your body I'm safe right now. You don't need to feel valuable in order to act valuable. Instead of asking, how do I feel right now? Ask, how would someone who respects themselves behave? Then act according to that principle, even if it feels uncomfortable. There's a reason the simplest advice can be the deepest. Just do it. Not because it's easy, but because action teaches your body faster than thinking does. Many people who feel worthless are kind, sensitive, and empathetic, but they struggle to set boundaries. They feel guilty for saying no. They fear disappointing others, but boundaries are not cruelty. They are self-respect. Here are 3 simple boundary sentences you can borrow. I can't do that, but I hope it goes well. "That doesn't work for me. I need time to think, I'll get back to you." Your body might tense up when you say them. Your mind might panic and say they'll leave. That's the old pattern trying to protect you. So start with low-stakes practice. This week, set one small boundary where the risk is low. Say no to a minor request, reply later instead of instantly, or ask for one thing you actually need. Then notice what happens. Most of the time, the world doesn't collapse, and each time you protect your space, your body learns something new. I matter. Many people believe they're living for themselves, but unconsciously shape their lives around other people's expectations. Ask yourself honestly, would I still do this if no one was watching? Living according to your own values without harming others is not selfish. It's necessary. People who feel valuable participate in life. They speak up. They ask questions. They take space. People who feel worthless believe they don't deserve to be seen or heard. And if you don't interrupt this pattern, it grows stronger over time. So do the opposite. Speak even if your voice shakes. Participate even if you feel exposed. Set boundaries even if it feels uncomfortable. If you're in a classroom, take the front seat. If you're in a meeting, raise your hand and share your idea, even if it's imperfect. Your feelings might scream, don't. Let your principles decide instead. One more shift that changes everything. Stop minimizing your successes and exaggerating your failures. If you always credit luck for achievements and blame yourself entirely for mistakes, that's not self-awareness, that's self-neglect. Try this tonight. Write down one thing you did well today, even if it was small. Then write one sentence you would say to a friend in your situation. Say that sentence to yourself, and here's the whole message in one breath. Your worth isn't something you earn from others, it's something you recognize within yourself. If this video helped, write one line in the comments. My value doesn't depend on approval. Thank you for listening. Be kind to yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.